Hey folks, this is Ben Yessel. It's kind of a little bit of a rainy night on the verge of January to February 2021. Was pretty upset in my last video. I'm only going to be upset if I hear anything more about this in the future. With my younger tenant, my elderly landlord, I'm talking about over and over again for I don't know how long. It boggles my mind. It boggles my mind how people, I mean, look, maybe I'll just put it this way. It is likely that throughout the world, I'm betting easily half the world's population, not 3/4, have harder lives than I do. Easily. So what do I have to complain about? What do I have to be upset about? Well, I guess when it all comes down to it, yeah, this ongoing landlord crap. Your living situation can really matter. So with these other two places I was considering renting, if I wasn't a musician, I could have got a room with this Chinese guy. Granted, yes, his parents had probably bought this house for him in Bothell. The guy himself was fine, but he had a brother who was living with him, and the brother didn't want me playing musical instruments. It would have been disruptive for him. What can you do in situations? So, nothing against living with the Chinese guy. When I say Chinese, I do mean China, as in China, China. Chinese. Not Chinese American, but yes, indeedy, the real, full, I'm gonna just, Red China. CCP, Communist China. Like the big one. He was from China. That kind of Chinese guy. Not Chinese American, not even a Hong Konger, I think. And he's a nice guy. Sure. It's not the fact that he's Chinese, it's just that, I was planning on actually rooming there with possibly another roommate. But this other guy didn't like my younger roommate I'm rooming with now, apparently. And then also another deal breaker was I couldn't play any music when I was there, so I'd have to find a music studio on top of my more expensive than usual rent. So other place in Seattle might have been a good place. But, I have to remember, no matter what's going on with me, well, let's just bring it back to the USA for a second here, maybe. But again, I'm aware that 3/4, if not a higher percentage of people have a harder life than I do. So I have nothing to complain about. I really don't. It's just, again, it's like, are we cool? Are we good? Is my life stable here? If not, I'm finding another place. See ya kind of thing, right? You don't want to have crap. You don't want to have drama at your own place of residence. That doesn't work out. Look, I mean, even when I was in Central Washington at Kamoa Hall, people were drinking, having sex. It was not at all remotely LDS standards, but it wasn't too bad, really, to be honest. We had a variety of people on my floor. I remember every single person on my floor, what they're like, and some are cool. Actually, most are pretty cool. Some are a little bit, I don't know. But, I mean, we all kind of try to make life a little easier for every one of us by just not being a turd, and I think we all did a pretty good job of that, considering that some of us were very conservative and some of us were very liberal. Kamoa Hall. I was in my mid-20s, early mid-20s. I'd say earlier 20s maybe, I don't know. BYU was so different. I don't know. It was. Anyway. you just don't do that stuff. You don't try to make trouble. You don't try to pick fights with people that are like tenants, fellow renters. It's just not done. Sometimes they could be complete strangers, and you want to treat them with a lot of deference and respect if you just don't know them. And, you know, one of my former landlords, I mean, he had tenants that weren't members of my church. It's not that we were like, you're different, we will ostracize you. It wasn't like that at all. It was just, you know, maybe you're not quite as familiar. You're not quite as, like, well, hey, how's it going? Well, maybe you say, hey, how's it going? But maybe, I don't know. It's not like you let them on your computer play video games. That's more like your close friends will let them do that. And not even some close friends will want you to do that anyway. You know, like, that's kind of what I mean, I suppose. But yeah, as I mentioned before, the place where you live, it shouldn't be that way at all. Now, if you're a homeowner, you know, I know that the upkeep for homes is freaking expensive. And if COVID-19 is hitting you hard, and you have to put off repairs if you need to. So homeowners are in one situation. Unless you can afford repairs and modeling or something, I don't know. But tenants, renters are not, they don't own the place of residence. Therefore, it is not their responsibility to take care of repairs. Not. Now, if a tenant takes a baseball bat and smashes a window, I think that the tenant probably needs to pay for the window and probably might get evicted. But landlords generally don't even live at places where the tenants live. That's generally the case. It's just, you know, and guys, I'm subscribed to the Shay Show, but not just the Shay Show. It's like, I understand how this works. I've had quite a few people I've rented from in my 20s and 30s and, you know, early 40s. I mean, like, I've had plenty of experience here. And in college, you know, working with landlords that didn't know me from Adam. They just wanted to make sure my credit was decent and, you know, I was going to pay my rent and I was going to not burn the place down. You know. I know what I'm talking about here. You live with a situation when you know you have some kind of degree of this is probably what's going to happen. Oh, by the way, I do like those green and blue lights in that house. Let me see if I can. I'll have to do it. Yeah, see, you can kind of see a little bit up there. So nice. By the way, there was a house nearby where I live. Got all those nice colors. I don't know what happened to those colors. It was so pretty, but whatever. You know, I've lived where I live now for at least 3 years, if not a little bit longer. And maybe it's time. I know it's time to move. I generally have moved in former places between a year to 2 years. It was good enough for me. Now it's gone. Yeah, this is the longest place I've been for, I don't know. But it's COVID-19. So, yeah. When I was talking to my dad about this situation I was talking about in the last video, you know, and he's telling me that, you know, it's normal to have disagreements, things that come up, issues. Well, okay, but honestly, you know, like, don't know, like, I'm asking myself, what is wrong with this picture? What is wrong with this picture? This whole situation. Why did I invite this younger guy in here in the first place? Because he was living in a place that was crappy, and you had, I don't know, all these landlords went out to the other were just complete crap to him. It's because he's a crappy renter? No, he's paying his rent. I think he's trying to grow up. So why put this on me? How is this my issue? Why am I dealing with this crap? Why did the landlord, for crying out loud, the landlord's not even in his right mind. The man's going senile. Anyone who's going senile should not freaking be a landlord. I'm amazed that I'm still here, in fact. If you can't even remember what day it is of the week. I mean, we all have those moments, I suppose, during COVID-19. We're just like, I have no idea what day it is. I have no idea what time it is. I think I have today off, I'm not sure. Let me check my calendar. Let me check my phone, right? What day is it again? You know? Of course, this is COVID-19. Why would, unless you're like full-time job and like you have responsibilities every single day, that's the place to be. That helps you, you know, keep really on it, right? But so many of us are not in that situation. Like, what I'm trying to say is, someone who's 80 years old and can't even remember what day it is, has no business being a landlord anymore. Really? It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure that out. But yet, things have worked out because things have worked out. He's been pretty pleasant. This is not on me. This is absolutely not on me. You know, if these guys, if they want to be this or that way, it is not on me. As soon as I find a better situation, I'm out of there. I'm gonna get a good reference or nada from this guy, and I better get a good one because I've been paying my rent. I've been a good renter. I haven't destroyed anything. The man's freaking 80 years old. If the future landlord has a whatever issue, I'm like, I just, for only 4 years, had a landlord that was 80 years old. How the devil would you live in that situation? I'll get into it with that landlord. Like, yes, I'm a good renter. Yes, I'm responsible. Don't go there. Well, so to speak. Be nicer about that, of course. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't hear any of that crap. This guy, man, he should have retired and moved to Utah with his relatives. He should have already. He should have gone to Hawaii and back 5 times. All expenses paid by maybe his siblings. We won't get into all his finances right now, but he could sell his house. I don't know. I really don't want to get in my landlord's case. I really don't. But I know he's getting messages from his loved ones in Utah, his family saying, come to Utah, retire, for real, sell the house. I'd be surprised if they weren't. I'd be actually shocked. Anyway. No, I'm not going to hear any more about this crap. No, I'm not. This younger guy, he's got to stop saying that crap. Just flat out done. Don't say it anymore. Things aren't any different between us. They've never been any different between us yet. Like, why would they be different? It's like, I sometimes wonder if it's just like, I don't know about this guy. It's like, for some people in life, you actually have to wonder, were you dropping your head funny? Now, if somebody ever had that train of thought with me, I'd probably quickly respond and say, oh, you know, actually I have high-functioning autism or Asperger's syndrome. In case you're wondering, it's none of your business, but I might as well tell you that. No, it doesn't have anything to do with my mom dropping me on my head when I was little. But I might explain a few of my eccentricities, in case you're wondering. But it also doesn't... I still treat people as well as I can. You know, I don't treat people like crap, you know. I don't do that stuff. So, if someone else is dropping their head funny, that's still not their fault because they're little babies. How is it their fault? Yeah. Other people have all kinds of conditions that you don't know about. And this, to be frank, it is kind of a juvenile comment, the whole being dropping your head funny. But I have to ask the questions. A lot of people I've known, and aside from whatever else is going on from birth, I have to ask, were you dropping your head funny? Like, something going on here? What's going on here? Why, what's the real issue? I mean, like, why? Just why are you putting this all on me? How is this my problem? All these bad vibes, all these weird, I don't get it. I just don't get, I don't understand it. I just want to be left alone, do my thing. I want to be friends. I want nice conversation. I don't mind the drama. I'm just not, look, I'm not somebody to be trifled with. Neither are you. But don't mess with me, man. Don't do it. I'm not messing with you. Don't mess with me. It's as simple as that. You know, I just don't want to have this conversation anymore with anyone. I just don't. By the way, as a private music instructor, as you might have guessed, I've certainly noticed things like, well, you know, people getting divorced. Yep, I've seen it. No, I won't talk about it. Of course I won't mention names. It's okay if you're wondering about it, though. We all wonder about this stuff. I just, you know, just like everybody else, sure I'm scared of getting married. Sure I'm scared of getting divorced. Sure I'm scared of getting in arguments. This is our first marital argument. I saw like this Hallmark movie with my parents recently. And that was a great movie. But there's this younger couple that was like on this movie, right? It's our first argument. Oh, just saying the word Hallmark. Just saying the word, I can't even talk straight. Just saying the word Hallmark. That should probably explain a few things, right? It should probably explain a few things. Okay, but no, I mean, like, oh my gosh, arguments, divorce, right? Well, I don't know. It all depends on the person, depends on the people. It just all depends. Divorce isn't the end of the world. I wouldn't know this personally. People still keep surviving, keep living. Like, you know, I just some small part of this, I want people to know about. I do. I want Joe Biden to watch this video. Hey Joe, as insignificant as my problems are, and believe me, they are pretty insignificant. I don't know how many other people have larger issues to deal with. This is America. These are people that are being called out for being traitors to the country for silly reasons. These are people who are losing their homes because they're losing their businesses because of COVID-19, struggling to make ends meet, have to put more masks every day. Don't talk about taxes. We'll have to deal with those in April anyway. Maybe do what you guys have always said you would do, and at least cut the working class some slack here. of course, you guys can continue on your merry way. Establishment Democrats, Union Democrats, you know. Hey, you know, I'm not in your shoes. When the judgment bar of Christ comes, I don't want to be in your shoes. I'll have to account for, I don't even know 1/1000th of what you've done, Joe. I just remember seeing those disgusting videos. Putting your hands all over those girls. You're a freaking pervert. And I don't know why everybody was so gung-ho to elect you. It boggles the mind. It literally boggles the mind. I have no words. There are no words. People defend Trump, of course, by saying Trump is only interested in women, and we don't have to get into that right now. Believe me. I don't want to get into that at all. I'm just trying to say, this man is not Superman. He is no Superman. If you looked at Christopher Reeve, he'd be a far better candidate for the Democratic Party. In fact, I would go for Reeve. I don't know why Reeve didn't ever... Well, because of course he got a horse accident. So, Reeve would have been a shoo-in as president. I'd vote for him. I'd vote for him in a heartbeat. Guess he's a Democrat. Who the freak cares? He's the kind of Democrat the Democrats want to be elected. Biden is no Christopher Reeve. He's no Jimmy Carter. He's no Kennedy. He's no Kennedy. Even though we know that Kennedy's womanizing. You know, I have a pretty idea what each of these men are like. Biden? Heck no, man. Think of Biden more like Clinton. Yeah. That's the best way of putting it. Oh, I'm sure Clinton loved Kennedy. I'm sure he did. I'm not going to defend Democrats or talking right now. You guys know how look, I know which Democrats I like more anyway. But the thing about it all is that none of us feel like there's any support. Oh, I'm sure Biden will talk a good talk. But he'll do what all the other presidents have ever done. I actually believe Reagan when he talks. By the way, we believe Reagan because, well, whether or not he actually did what he said he was going to do, you always heard a sincerity in his voice. Debate me if you want to. I'm sure many people will. You cannot deny Reagan's sincerity, nor can you deny Carter's sincerity. You can't mess with that. But you also have to acknowledge that the President of the United States is not the most powerful man in the world. Not by any stretch of the imagination. There is no way anyone can convince me that's true. It is simply false. The President of the United States is a puppet. He is just there to carry on the illusion that it's democracy as usual, right? It's never been democracy. We've never lived in a democracy. It's a republic, but it's actually an oligarchy, folks. Not just an oligarchy in the United States. It's a freaking worldwide oligarchy. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they do. It does not change who's really in control and who's in power until Jesus is here again. No one. My dad can try talking about this stuff. I'll vote for who my dad thinks is the best president. Well, at least I won't ignore my dad. I'm not giving up on what my grandpa taught me about this stuff. It's very real. You cannot look at all the homeless people that lost their homes because Amazon moved into Seattle and the rent went sky high. You cannot look at... I don't even know where to start. How can you possibly defend the notion that somehow one man is going to change everything for the better? Oh, you say Trump? Trump did, huh? I want to believe that things are better economically with Trump, just like the next Republican or conservative. But, you know, the big things just kind of remain the same. Middle East and Africa and everybody else is brown, just like George Carlin said, they keep getting bombed. So if you're not white, you can get bombed. And if you are white, you're going to get trashed on, you know, with political correctness. It's the same old crap. Christianity is going to be attacked. You're going to keep feeling like it's more and more about secularism and money, and you know, you're going to keep having these attacks on the family and morality. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. You can't tell me that's anything other than that. It's silly and insane to think that, you know, you watch the news talking endlessly about COVID-19. I don't give a crap about that stuff anymore. I just don't give a crap. What I want to hear about is how people are doing in different countries, how they're living. Are they friendly to the Americans, or are we friendly to them? What are their opportunities in life, or not? Are there any wars that are going to be going on? And how can we stop them? We don't want war. Is there something going on with water pollution we can stop? This is what I want to hear about. I don't want to hear more about COVID-19. Who wants to hear that crap? It's just more of the same crap. I mean, it's just all the same. It doesn't matter anymore. It's almost mind-numbing, desensitizing to think, oh, more people dead. Oh, there's 100,000 people dead. You know, and you think to yourself, how evil is that to think that way? But then you say, I don't know these people. I have no control over the situation. If I were to cry my eyes out over all this stuff, it still wouldn't change anything. But I don't know them. How is this my deal? But then you think I'm some monster for not being sensitive. You know, it's like, I don't have any answers here. I'm just saying, we don't need to keep hearing this crap. We do, but we don't. What we need to do is stop the virus. Get the immunizations out. El Pronto to everybody. Get it all out there. Mass produce it like crazy. Like crazy. Have to be the single biggest thing we're making right now. But I want to make sure that there's no funny business going on. Everybody's talking about how it's going to affect your fertility and all that stuff. Oh yeah, I've heard the rumors. I have definitely heard them. Yeah, folks, I don't know. I just don't know. I just know that when I come home, I don't want my life to be chaotic. At best. You know. Just, like, really, man. Tired of putting up with the crap. I don't know. I'm gonna lose it one of these days. I really am. But I'll try to lose it when I'm not at least here. Just going for a walk or something. You guys take it easy. Talk to you later. Bye.